Hello everyone, welcome to ParentTown TV, and today we're going to talk about how to stay fit during and after pregnancy. Hello everyone, this is Samantha here and welcome to another episode of ParentTown TV. And we're really excited to have Kelly here with us today. And Kelly, would you like to share with our viewers a bit about yourself? What have you been busy with lately?
Okay, so some of you may or may not know I'm a presenter and an MC. So I've just recently finished filming a show called Photo Face Off, which was quite interesting because I spent my entire first trimester on the road traveling around.
Wow!
And everyone was
amazing.
like, "That's a bit crazy." On hindsight, it probably was. But now that that's done and dusted, at the moment, just spending a little more time recuperating, getting ready for the little bump to come out at the end of the year.
How long more?
6 months now, so three and a bit more months ago, we're looking at a December baby. December 22nd is the due date, and everyone's just going,
So close to
please,
Christmas.
not a Christmas baby, not a Christmas baby.
Okay, so today you're going to share with us a bit about, your fitness tips during and, after pregnancy as well.
Correct.
Yep. So what exactly, how do we define fitness during pregnancy?
Fitness during pregnancy is really, really different from fitness at any other point in your life, simply because your body's going through so many different changes.
Mm-hmm.
You've got relaxin, the hormone that loosens up all your joints and ligaments so that you can expand and make room for the growing thing inside of you.
Yep.
You've also got the sheer fact that you're carrying additional weight all the time. I mean, even as early as sort of your first trimester, you're already starting to add on a little bit of extra water here and there. It makes it a little bit uncomfortable to move around. And I started showing really early, from about, I think it was 12 weeks, you could start to see a bump. And everyone's going, oh my goodness, you're only 12 weeks? Are you sure there's only one? And all those usual questions. So with the additional size, with the additional weight, it's very, very different when you're training whilst you're pregnant. But it is very important to train. Fitness during pregnancy should be something that involves slightly more cardio work, because you need to keep the heart rate up, but you don't want to elevate it past a point. A lot of articles, a lot of research out there says that 145 beats per minute is probably what you should be aiming for as a maximum heart rate. The reason why you have to stick within that training zone is simply because if you go beyond it, there could be a danger that you can't get your heart rate back down to a resting level.
I see.
So it's very, very important whilst you're trying to be fit and pregnant that you're not overdoing it and that you always have a heart rate monitor on you. Also, weight training is very important. So whilst a lot of people go, oh, you shouldn't be doing weights, you shouldn't be doing this, it is very important because weight training helps with the conditioning of the bones. Keeping you strong, making sure that you don't break anything whilst you're carrying your baby. So fitness during pregnancy, there's a lot of different components. I'm sure we'll break it down a little bit more in a little while. But you definitely have to make sure that you do stay, if not super fit, but at least active, not just for you, but also for the health of your baby.
Yeah, I think the elder folks might have a problem, with weightlifting.
Oh, trust me, I have had so much backlash whenever I've posted a photo of me doing squats or deadlifts, and everyone's just going, oh, you shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
They won't even tell me, they'll tell my husband. And then my husband's just like, what do you want me to do? Like, I can't stop her. But it is very important. And I think after a little bit more education, like my mum has finally gotten over the fact that I was squatting 40 kilos with a baby bump. My grandma is a little more open to the idea of it now, but you can't go about changing everyone's minds. But you do, especially if you've been training prior to being fit, prior to being pregnant, you do notice a stark difference.
Yeah.
But it is very important. I mean, doctors will always tell you, do not start a new regime when you find out that you're pregnant. Yes and no. Yes, you shouldn't then go out and try and squat 40 kilos just because you're pregnant and you're going to be carrying an additional bump. You should have started training earlier on, and I'll explain a bit more about that later. But there are things that you can start to do the moment you find out that you're pregnant. Activities like bar and Pilates, but with registered people who know what they're doing don't go and try and follow a YouTube video whilst you think that you're pregnant, especially in that first trimester. It's a time when you really need to be focusing on yourself. But there are activities out there, and there are people out there who will take you on and will help guide you in that first trimester, if you know, and if you have the time and energy, if you know that yes, you do want to be active and fit during pregnancy.
Okay, cool. So how does it affect mommies if they don't do like exercises or
I think the immediate thing you see is the weight gain. If you're not working out and if you're eating for two, that's the dreadful mistake that some of us make, but we can't avoid it because food tastes so good.
Exactly.
I mean, okay, so just to sidetrack slightly, I've gone from being a relatively clean eater and not eating that many carbs to wanting rice all the time. Like, I'm a chak kantang kind of person. Like, I love my potatoes, but this baby is so Asian. I've eaten so much rice and curry throughout my pregnancy that it's just been a bit off the charts. But then it means that I really need to make sure that I'm exercising enough to make sure that I'm not gaining a bump on the sides as well as the front. It's very important.
Okay.
It's very, very important. I mean, you've got to manage the diet, but you've got to stay healthy. Not just for you, but also for the baby. I mean, you've got gestational diabetes to worry about as well.
Yeah.
So if you're overeating and you're not exercising enough, there are plenty of studies out there which will tell you that if you're not exercising, keeping the activity levels up, gestational diabetes becomes a big problem, because also you're going to end up with a larger baby, and that means a higher proportion of cesareans as opposed to natural births. And I'm sure it's down to personal preference, but I'm sure, like myself, there are a lot of women out there that want to have a natural birth.
Definitely.
And pushing out a 10-ton baby is probably not going to be the most fun.
This mommy, she said that she did not gain much weight during her pregnancy.
Lucky woman.
But after pregnancy, after delivery, she started, putting on weight. So are there any tips for her on how she can lose the weight?
Okay, so firstly, like I said, lucky woman for not gaining so much weight. I've just breached the 70 kilo barrier, and I'm struggling internally with dealing with being over 70 kilos. Everyone has their own personal battle with weight gain during pregnancy, whether it's not gaining enough, whether it's gaining too much. 5 to 7 kilos falls within a perfectly healthy range of amount to gain. But when it comes to that sort of small amount, sometimes that's the hardest thing to shift. It's sort of when you hit that, if you're not pregnant and just doing a normal weight loss program, it's like when you hit that plateau and you've just got the last 2 kilos to lose. Those are sometimes the hardest. If you've just given birth, and so this is like immediately after, I mean, when it comes to postpartum exercise, 6 weeks is usually the rough guideline before you should be starting your exercises. And then you can go back into reintroducing some sort of proper regime.
Okay.
You need to start looking at your diet, because diet plays a huge part in it. Obviously, you'll be eating, if you're breastfeeding, you're eating up to 600 calories extra per day. And you have to be aware that sometimes when you're breastfeeding, it's not that fix-all cure that so many women talk about. Just because you're breastfeeding doesn't mean you're going to lose all that weight just like that. Sometimes breastfeeding means that you're going to keep that weight on, because the moment you start cutting back on your diet or introducing exercise, your milk production stops as well. So you just need to make sure that you're monitoring, if you are breastfeeding, like I said, the milk production that you've got versus your food intake versus your actual energy expenditure each day. I would recommend starting off with some light cardio, going out there swimming, walking with your baby. These are all things that you can do with your child as well. Just bring the baby out, put them in the stroller and go and walk. Do a brisk walk. Again, you don't want the heart rate to be soaring, but you do want to start breaking out a sweat. If you want to, you can start doing some body weight exercises, gentle hits, so high intensity interval training can be introduced as well. Okay. And you can use your baby in these exercises. I mean, obviously, if it's like a fresh little bub, you probably won't. But if the baby's a couple of months old, a little more stable, the neck's got a little bit more stability, then you can definitely start introducing your child as your weight for these workouts as well. Simple things like doing planks every day really helps. Push-ups, lunges, squats. And when I say squats, I don't mean like, oh, load in the bar and whatever and go to the gym. I'm just talking about literally, if you have a chair at your dining table, standing up and sitting down from that chair. And that will really start the burn. But you should be doing it. You could try something like a Tabata. A Tabata workout is where you have 8 sets of 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds rest. That 20 seconds doesn't sound long, but when you're 6 sets in, you are gasping and everything's on fire. So what I like to do sometimes is I'll mix it up, and I'll do 4 of one exercise, 4 sets of one exercise, and then 4 sets of another exercise. Or you could do 8 sets of one exercise. Kettlebell swings are really great if you have a kettlebell at home, or if you have a sack of rice, just a little bit of a weight that you can sort of throw between your legs and pull up. It's a great all-round body exercise. But like I said, it's crucial, especially if you've got that sort of 5 to 7 kilos left, that you should be doing about 30 to 45 minutes of exercise each day. And I know that sounds tough for a new mummy as well, but it's the time that it takes to sort of like just do something quickly before you go in for a shower. Wake up in the morning, baby's having a nap, whatever. Just try and squeeze out just those few minutes, ideally all together, but if not, break it up. Do 3 rounds throughout the day of 15 minutes.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, so we have another question. So, moms, they're really busy. And now, after having a child and they have to take care of the baby or the sleepless nights and so on. And when it start on, I'm going to get out there, I'm going to, start on my exercising. And after a month, it's like, oh no, I can't take it anymore, So how do we keep ourselves motivated on, continuing? And because definitely it's not a short-term, thing.
Of course not, no. Fitness, especially if you're going to go on an exercise journey, it's never just a quick fix. It's a lifestyle change that you have to make, but it's also one that you have to be ready to implement every single day, or at least 3 to 4 times a week. That's the ideal. Everyone knows that a new mother is busy. Like, you are flat out if you're not pumping milk, you're feeding milk, you're like a full-time cow. And I understand that completely, which is why I say you have to start implementing all these exercise regimes and put in a routine as early as before you get pregnant. Because if you're into the habit already, then suddenly it's not an additional thing you have to do in your day. You've already factored in time for it. You already know that, okay, I'm going to wake up just 15 minutes earlier to do a stretch routine. Before I sleep, I'm going to do, before I go for a shower before bed, I'm going to do a 15-minute HIIT just to make sure that I get something in for that day. And before you know it, you've clocked in half an hour of exercise, which is perfectly okay and acceptable. If you have to go out and get groceries, walk your child out and go get the groceries. If you have to pick something up, walk your child out and go do it. There are lots of things that you can do, but it's creating that habit as early as possible. Even when you're pregnant, it's hard to stick to a routine because you're tired. I've never felt tired like the way I felt tired in both first and second trimester. But if you don't just make the conscious effort to say, okay, I have to do this, then you're gonna let it go very, very quickly. The other thing you can do is sort of find support groups, find your tribe in that sense, people that you can work out with, because if you've got to be accountable to somebody else, then chances are you're not gonna just be like, never mind, I'm just gonna skip it. Because you've got to go to that class, or you've got to meet that person for coffee, so you're definitely going to walk there, or you're definitely going to go for that yoga class with that person. And I think as a new mother as well, it's very important that you factor in me time. A lot of people think that when the baby comes, it's all about the baby, but it should also be about you. You have just spent 9 months, grown a foot, an eyeball, a brain, and now you're expected to be a full-time milk production factory for it, and then in a couple of months you're going to have to go back to work. It is tiring, but it is important that you factor in me time, and if you can, make the exercise your me time, because a lot of time you can spend time thinking about what you need to do. You can focus on your chores, but also you can focus on being a better mother for your child.
Okay, so what about moms that don't like to exercise? You know, I'm sure there's a few out there.
Yeah, I mean, people are always asking, like, oh, I don't enjoy it. I just don't enjoy being sweaty. I don't enjoy working out at all. Is there anything I can do? And having been on a massive weight loss journey when I was younger, I tried all the pills, I tried all the quick fix things, I tried the slimming routines. Nothing is going to work as well for your body as the right diet and the right kind of exercise. Being pregnant is going to mean that you are going to end up sacrificing a lot physically for your child. When you eat and drink whatever you're consuming, your child will take the best of it. When the child takes that, you will be left with whatever is there. So if you're not taking care of your body before you get pregnant, whilst you get pregnant, and after you get pregnant, the child is just going to take everything from you and continue to take everything from you. And it's just going to make it doubly hard. So yes, I know exercise is hard. It's not always enjoyable, but there are lots of different ways that you can work out. It's not just one thing. Find a dance class, go to yoga, go to Pilates, do tutorials at home if you want. Go out and meet a couple of friends and go like aqua jogging in the swimming pool. Yeah. You know, there are lots of things that you can do, and it doesn't have to be a lonely thing, nor does it have to be a social thing if you don't want it to be. I mean, a lot of women also feel very insecure about their bodies and don't want to go to a gym where lots of people can see them. So okay, do what I did when I first started working out. You do it in the comfort of your bedroom, your home, your living room, and document your own personal journey, and you make it a personal thing. But it does help if you have, I find, a support group. I mean, you guys are a great support group for mums out there, and that's the whole point as well. You know, creating a support group means that you've got someone to talk to if you feel like you're losing motivation. But you do need to exercise. You really, really do need to exercise. You will feel a million times better just because of all the good hormones that are released in your body when you exercise. And you will feel better about yourself. If you have goals as well, set targets for yourself. It's very important that you know when to say, okay, I'm happy with how I look now, or I'm happy with this weight, or I'm happy with how I'm fitting into that pair of jeans. Like, everyone's got a different benchmark for themselves. So yes, I'm sure all of us wishes that there was a pill that you could take or a regime that you could sort of like have someone just massage your body and everything would be perfect and as if you're a 16-year-old newborn teen again, but that's not going to happen. The only way that you're going to rock that body one more time is if you are actually going to put in time and effort into taking care of it.
Yeah, moreover, you know, like the breastfeeding, you know, and during pregnancy, so definitely it's not advisable to go on pills or even like go on a strict diet.
Sure.
And,
I mean, if you're dieting, I mean, just watching your protein intake to make sure that you're getting enough protein to produce the milk. If you're not getting enough of the right things, you're not going to produce the milk that you need to. If you're consuming pills, that means you're putting in all sorts of chemicals, and what's your baby taking from that? Yeah. If you're even putting topical creams on, that's going into your bloodstream, that'll go through to your milk as well. That's going to affect your baby too. Yeah. So exercise is
that's the only way out.
Surefire way to make sure that you're getting the results that you need. But like I said, if you have a group of people that you're willing to spend time with, that will help you on this journey, it makes a huge difference.
So I think it's about taking that first step and, you know, just do it, right?
It is. It will be hard. I'm not going to say it's easy. Yeah. It will be hard, but you will learn to love the pain. Maybe.
Thank you, Kelly, for being here with us today and showing us all the different exercises that, you know, mummies can do before, during and after pregnancy. And I'm sure the mummies have learned a lot today. Do you have any passing words for our viewers today?
Well, thanks for having me on. I think it's just really important that as mothers-to-be or current mothers or expectant mothers, it's really important that you just go out there and get sweat. Do a little bit every single day and you will see a marked improvements, not only in just how you feel about yourself, but also in just how you carry yourself and how much more you can then give to the rest of your family as well.
Thank you.